Bland. Bland, bland, bland. Alright, Rick Wall came back again. And are we really late with this? Still, it's the series finale. Gotta get the review up. Hellbent's been on. I've now seen it. Is it any good? Let's find out. So, the plot. What there is of it. There's going to be spoilers here, you know. The Doctor's on Gallifrey. He's back to the old barn. The people come to see him. It's like the old gunslinger's back in town. The lawmen ride up. He draws the line in the sand that they may not cross. And more lawmen show. He just walks away. Then they send a parade of the finest. He don't even look at him. Finally the president comes. He sees him. And he says, "Get off my planet." It's a very epic space western, if you couldn't tell by the voice I was using. Yeah, that was very cool. And then suddenly, after he's got rid of Rassilon, there's a whole shift 360 with the plot. And it's all about rescuing Clara, changing her fate, and running away in a TARDIS and going to the end of time and trying to save her. And memory wipes, and the Doctor can't remember Clara anymore, but that's okay because that means she gets to live for a while anyway. She goes off in a TARDIS with me. Not me, obviously. It gets a bit more mundane after that. Space western, epic. Rescuing Clara from her fate. Yeah, not so much. Not so much to talk about here. Needless to say, Capaldi was awesome. But he wasn't given that much to work with once again. It's like Series 8 all over again. It was the Clara show. And the Doctor was playing a bit. Other than that, yeah, he was breaking all his own rules to save Clara. We got some great acting from Capaldi though. Despite this. Have we got an implication that he's half human again? Might not be the full explanation we should have got from what we were led up to last week. But hey, there was something. Yeah, I'm really grasping at straws there, aren't I, with the hybrid? Still, as I say, he got some great moments though. That bit, the duty of care line, that was great. I really enjoyed him playing his guitar. I know there's some Who fans who don't like that, but I liked it. And that early stuff when he was being the gunslinger, that was very cool. On the flip side of that, there was some really awful things there. Not Capaldi's fault. This was in the script. He shot a man. The Doctor shot a man. Okay, it was a time until he regenerated so he didn't kill him, but seriously, the Doctor shot a man. And not only that, he grabbed all over the fact it was a regeneration. Regenerations are meant to be a big deal. And the Doctor described as being like man flu. Okay, we can maybe say he regretted killing him and this was his justification. But that's coming in after the fact. The Doctor doesn't kill people. They've gone all this way of never cruel and never cowardly, and then they've made the point here where he's been so cruel and so cowardly. He's not the Doctor in this. I don't know who he is, but he's not the Doctor. Welcome back to the Clara Show. Okay, you know I said how it would spoil the Face the Raven if they brought Clara back. They brought Clara back. Even my friend who loves Clara, maybe a little bit obsessively, doesn't think they should have brought her back. So even when Moffat kills a character, he doesn't really kill her. Like Amy and Rory. He had them aged to death over a number of years. They died by living out their life. All very sad that they lost the Doctor and everything, and the Doctor lost them, but really? It was heartbreakingly written. Oh, but at least in this, Clara got to say a proper goodbye. Is that 4 of them now? Let's see, there's Kill the Moon, there's last year's finale, last year's Christmas special. Could have been written out and got a good send-off when she jumped in the Doctor's time stream. Then she was killed and faced the Raven. Then she got seen in flashback type things last week in Heaven Sent. And now this? That's 7. 7 goodbyes. And there's still room for her to come back. Jenna Coleman's performance was as great as ever. But the scripting of Clara is just awful. Again. Though I do have to give her credit. There was one really good line of hers that I really liked, and I'm probably going to be keeping with me. You know, you said forgotten memories come out as stories, or maybe they sometimes come out as songs. That was a lovely line, especially for a singer-songwriter like myself. But that was probably the best thing in the entire episode. The ultimate Mary Sue. And that's what Clara is. Okay, Rassilon next. So, here he was, the big villain for the finale. Built up over the course of, well, to be fair, built up over the course of 10 years. This was going to be big. This was going to be epic. We got a very nice face-off between him and the Doctor. Especially when he raised his weapons to him. He had 2 epic moments with that. The first, you know what the advantage I have here is? No witnesses. Which was a cool line. And then the even cooler, how many regenerations did we give you? I've got all day. Which was also incredible. And then everyone turns on him. The Doctor wins by not doing anything. And he gets banished off screen. Surely he'll be back at some point. Hopefully with a better writer. So on to everyone else. Which may be a bit of an overstatement because there's about 4 other people. Okay, let's start with the General. He's as good as he was in that last one. And then he becomes a woman again. And she's pretty much exactly identical to him. Kind of ruins some of the mystique of the regeneration there. No trauma, which usually comes with a forced regeneration. And the character was pretty much identical. No radical shifts. Coupling that with the fact that it was such an underplayed thing, why did we even need to see it? From the Sisterhood of Khan was bland. Well, she acted it well. But she really wasn't given much to do. Aside from calling out the Doctor on being cruel and cowardly. What was the point of her being in it? Anyone else could have said those lines. It didn't add anything. The ghosts in the Matrix. Yeah. Didn't do anything. Just wandered about. They weren't scary. Daleks, Weeping Angels and Cybermen. Meh. Now the Den Mother from the barn the Doctor grew up in was interesting. Reference back to Lunkenbarrow, which I'm not sure I count as part of my headcanon. But interesting nonetheless. Didn't do much though. In fact, why were we on Gallifrey at all? Oh yeah, the cheap plot device to get Clara back. That could only be done by Gallifrey. Is it just me or is that a massive waste of Gallifrey? And then there was me. Ashilda. Was she the hybrid? Was there really any point of her being in it either? Other than giving Maisie Williams another credit? She's not too bad, but she's not good. Yeah. bland. Bland, bland, bland. Everyone had to be less than Clara. And that was to the detriment of everything. So, if you hadn't guessed already, I'm rather disappointed in this one. It's probably been the weakest episode of the whole series, except maybe Before the Flood, that was crap as well. This should have been so much better. Got all the hype that's been building throughout the whole series and abandoned it in favour of Mary suing Clara once again. And in the end, Moffat's made her into the Doctor. Off out, having her own adventures in the TARDIS, while immortal, and really, was there any need for that? If there was ever a story that was crying out for the Master's help, it was this one. If Michelle Gomez had been in this episode, it would have been so much better. But then she'd have probably just ended up being subservient to Clara too. The episode did have stuff in it to recommend it. It had some nice moments, some charming little scenes. First 20 minutes or so where it was the space western, that was epic. If they'd built on that and kept that going and made it into a full-on space western with the Doctor getting every upper hand, and that could have been so amazing. Series finale we needed and deserved. Instead we got this pile of excrement. No, that's unfair, it's not as bad as that. Then again, it kind of is. We went from the good to the mundane. As soon as we left the outside of Gallifrey and went into the main city, it just became mundane, derivative, boring. A season finale should not be boring. How could you make a season finale boring, Moffat? You keep doing this. You've done so well this year. You've done so well. That's what makes this even worse. I really don't want to be this negative on it. It's the finale. It should be epic. The Doctor should be changing the universe. Not playing second fiddle to his companion. I'm going to say 4. Probably deserves... No, it probably deserves less than that, not more. 4 is fair. Hopefully this time next week going to do a wrap-up video for the whole series. See the highs, the lows, and everything in between. So till then, see thee.